Right, you're watching Breakfast Central on News Central. It's the third Thursday, and our top story starts in Nigeria, where it is code red. Now, the Plateau State government has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Jos North local government area over the attack in Yelowa Zangam village, where over 30 people were killed by gunmen. Now, announcing the curfew, the state governor, Simon Lalong, said that it took effect from 4 p.m. yesterday till further notice.
Now, elsewhere, following the attack on the Nigerian Defense Academy, President Muhammadu Buhari had stated that the military were pressed on to end criminality in the country. Also, Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle has called for a state of emergency to be declared in the northern part of Nigeria following the increasing number of crimes in the area.
State of emergencies, left, right and center, and code red, if you may. Now, to discuss this spate of insecurity in the country, Nigeria, we have joining us this morning, right via Zoom, a political analyst in Emeka Obiareri. We're also joined in the studio live by Dickson Osajie, who is a security expert. Well, I'll start with my guest in the studio, Dickson. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Central. The states of emergency declared in Zamfara and some parts of Jos. So we are at code red right now with Nigeria's security problem, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, right? Thank you very much for having me. Good morning. It's really a disturbing story because the speed in which the security situation in Nigeria is escalating really tells that we're not prepared to protect our lives and property, because sometimes we have lost the value of human lives. Looking at what transpired in the Nigerian Defense Academy is really disturbing, because I am a soldier, I'm a former soldier, and I understand what it is for some group of criminal elements to, carry out an attack against the military formation. In the early days when I was in the military, it's a no-no for you to take a soldier's life. If you take a soldier's life, definitely we will decimate that city. That is so worrisome now that
even beyond that, what does it really take in terms of the security apparatus to really break down that the NDA could be breached security-wise? What kind of level of threat are we dealing with now?
Well, the incident that transpired in NDA is an act of lackadaisical behavior, and I've called for the resignation of the commandant of Nigerian Defense Academy, because sometimes looking at the peripheral threats taking place within the Kaduna Metropolis should have sounded a warning to the Defense Academy that, hey, these guys are playing around within our environment, our city. I'm talking about the bandits, kidnapping students from school, kidnapping students from the highway, and the military were so relaxed, you understand. But for me, I think the problem here boils down on physical security, Physical security in the sense that you're supposed to put in every mechanism in place to ensure that criminal does not succeed in their criminal activities, because criminal don't like delay. Now, what I found wrong was that I think there has been an absence in looking at the protection in-depth of the Nigerian Defense Academy. What are the surveillance components? Where are the testing components? And where are the access control components? Because for you to gain entrance into any military formation, you need to have passed through layer of protection. Layer of protection in the sense that if you are successful in beating the first man on the gate, you successfully beat the second man on the gate, you should not beat the third man on the gate. Because if we look at this physical security mechanism effectively, I think those guys that carried out this attack wouldn't have succeeded. But it's a big blow against the Nigerian military, and it's a shame.
Right. Now, Dickson, looking at you being an ex-military personnel, let's look at the call by Governor Matawalle of Zamfara State. Now, he has said that they should put all the 19 northern states in Nigeria, they should be placed on the state of emergency. It should be declared in all the 19 states. Is this the right way to go at this time?
Oluchi, thank you for that question. It's such an intelligent question. Sometimes we fail to look at the causative factors that are precipitating the spate of insecurity in Nigeria. If you don't know the root cause analysis of the problem, you can't project mitigation factors, because our leaders just think, declaring a state of emergency, declaring curfew, closing the city is really going to mitigate the spate of insecurity. I take a departure from that. What really needs to be done is for us to look at the causative factors. How did we as a nation arrive at this stage? Is it due to political reasoning? Is it due to security reasoning? We must address the imminent threat Now, what do we do? If the state governor, Matawale, is calling for a state of emergency, I will slightly agree with him so that we'll be able to decimate this criminal element operating in the government space. We need to make that government space ungovernable for these guys, because that is where they run their governments.
Well, Dickson, I agree with you, making this ungoverned space ungovernable for them. But it looks like this ungoverned space is not even governable for us in the first place, being as a nation, as a people, as a government. And you mentioned about lack of physical security in the present, especially with this NDA attack. But how much does intelligence, you are an ex-military personnel, how much of intelligence has been breached as a factor in this matter of security in Nigeria right now?
Well, for me, I think the Nigerian Intelligence Agency should be dissolved. The DMI should be dissolved. Because for you to carry out an attack against the Nigerian Defense Academy, that tells you there's a breach in security, there's a breach in intelligence. And also, for me, what makes me to be very worried, because I have a conversation with some of my classmates across the globe, I just feel that it shouldn't be that easy for you to break all the mechanism in place. You know, for you to carry out that successful attack, you need to first of all beat the man guard. That is what we call the human security. Having beaten the human security, you beat technology. Beating technology, you beat surveillance, is really not acceptable, because if they can beat these three formations of security, defeating the access control, defeating the human mechanism, defeating the technological mechanism, that tells you there was a failure in our intelligence. Our intelligence professionals need to go back to the drawing board and analyze the threats. And for what I have seen so far, the reason why we arrived at this stage is because for so long, the military has been playing a friendly match with these terrorists. I know the capability of the military.
The Nigerian military.
The Nigerian military has been playing a friendly match with these terrorists.
All right, Oluchi, I'm sure you really heard the comments of Dickson here, but the match is clearly unfriendly for the Nigerian populace.
It is very unfriendly, and a lot of Nigerians are beginning to question the unseemly silence of the federal government on this matter, especially when a statement from the presidency came out saying that the attack on the NDA should be a motivation for the soldiers living in that area. What does this say of the Buhari-led administration, Dickson?
Well, for me, I think the president, the long-time silence of the president actually, instigated the high speed of insecurity. I understand it's a Fulani man, oh yes. I don't want to talk about ethnocentric brutality. I'm going to look at religious brutality, because sometimes we feel in our country or in our climate that the problem we have is police brutality. We are not suffering from police brutality. We are not even addressing ethnocentric brutality. We are not addressing religious brutality. We are not even addressing judicial brutality. We are not addressing prison brutality. Because if we have an effective administration of criminal justice in place, I don't think criminal will go scot-free. But here in Nigeria, criminality is taking the lead, because when you commit a crime, you find your way out from the administration of criminal justice system. The president must come aboard, must consistently address the Nigerian nation, because it's really not going to help us if he continues to remain silent. The last time, or the first time in the past 3-4 years, I heard the president speak was an interview he granted to a TV station some few weeks back. And looking at those analyses, I think he's trying to take some side within his people, because a very sensitive question was posed on him, and he really did not want to come out and condemn his people. Because if you want to talk about security, you must start from home. If your people are causing a lot of destruction or improper behavior or animal behavior against the Nigerian state, I think the president must address. We've been crying of Fulani herdsmen. We've been crying of a lot of attack from the east, west, south, and north. And that was what precipitated the emergence of Amotekun and other regional security outfits. So for me, the presidency needs to do more. They need to come on board and also ensure that the Nigerian lives are well protected, because that was how they came into power.
Yeah, Dickson,
I believe we have been brainwashed in 2015.
You are security personnel. You've been with the military formations before. Now, I need to ask, because we're talking about bandits, headsmen, whether Igbo or Fulani or whatever.
Yeah.
With the attacks in Kaduna, what do we call them? Are they still bandits? Are they still headsmen? Couldn't we prescribe these people as terrorists once and for all? Because it looks like if they can, because I'm talking about the level of intelligence to breach the NDA and beyond. So where are we now? Should we just throw away these bandits in the guts and just go with terrorists, and that's what they are?
Well, name calling will never define safety. When you look at name calling, terrorism has no universal acceptable definition. When you call me a terrorist, perhaps I might see myself as a freedom fighter.
But isn't calling these people bandits or unknown gunmen somehow a reductionism of the threat level that we are?
It's painful.
Or perhaps an excuse for such?
Olisa, it's very painful because each time I hear or heard about unknown gunmen, we need to we need to know them as a known gunmen, because calling them unknown gunmen tells you the ineffectiveness of the security agent. So for me, those guys are not bandits, they are terrorists, and they must be declared as terrorists. The reason why they've not been declared as terrorists, I presume, was because there is no unity of purpose or somebody coming on board to identify themselves or, project the reason why they are carrying out an act against humanity. So for me, the federal government must go all out, deny these guys of sleep. Terrorism is achievable. Security is achievable. Are you with me? You need to deny them sleep. You need to deny them resources, because we're not looking at all the mechanical factors or technological factors that we can apply to mitigate this high rate of insecurity. One, we need to look at de-resourcing these guys. Where are they getting their resources from? Who are the people in charge of sponsoring these guys, known as conflict entrepreneurs? Who are the conflict entrepreneurs? Because the people in government, or some people in government, or in some part of Nigeria, are furnishing these guys with arms and ammunition. We must go after those conflict entrepreneurs. If you don't go after the conflict entrepreneurs, Olisa, what we will find ourselves doing is continuous killing of criminal, because every day by day, for example, Boko Haram sprang up in 2012. A child who was born in 2009. A child who was born in 2009, Olisa, is 12 years old today. And that child could, be brainwashed and grow up with such ideology. So we need to look at de-resourcing these guys. Having de-resourced these guys, we also need to look at delinking these guys. Go to your government space where they are taking shelter from. Decimate this guy day in, day out. We give them sleep. If you deny them sleep, they will not act, because they sleep by day and they act by night. Go by day, decimate them. Go by night, decimate them. But yeah, the reason why I say the military has been playing friendly match with all these guys was because these guys are some group of criminal elements. We have the army, the navy, the air force that comprises of the military. We have the police. We have other security agents, and some group of criminal elements are holding us hostage. I bring this down to greed. I bring this down to an act of inhuman behavior by our leaders, because if we are ready to take charge and control the security level of Nigeria, we will achieve this, if only we take a departure from greediness.
Right. Wow. Now, Dickson, I mean, you said quite a lot. Now, let's not forget how this bandit started. Bandits or terrorists or headsmen, call it any name we want to put it. It first started with the primary schools, now looking at Kaduna State, and then gradually secondary schools and higher institutions. Now it's the NDA that has been attacked. What do you think prompted these attackers to hit the NDA? What message are these bandits actually trying to pass at this point?
Well, they are testing the integrity of our territorial integrity, of our territorial defense. They are testing. They've tested the integrity of our national defense. They've tested the integrity of our national security. They've tested the integrity of our military. You know what transpired in NDA? It's just like, they just want to test run how they are going to hit on all other military, formations. Kaduna State harbors the highest formations of military institutions. And it's regrettable that we cannot hit these guys. Oluchi, you rightly talk about attack on our schools and pupils. The truth is that Nigeria is a signatory to the Safe School Declaration in Oslo, Norway. That declaration was orchestrated by Argentina and Norway, and Nigeria was a signatory among the 140 countries that signed the Safe School Declaration. What does that imply? To protect our students, our teachers, our lecturers from attack. But we're not doing enough in respect of that Safe School Declaration. If we fall back to that procedures of the Safe School Declaration, apply all those security protection in depth in that declaration, we will be able to mitigate.
Well, Dickson, I'll hold you to that point now, because it does seem, Kaduna State almost like the kidnap capital of the world. Now, staying with the security situation in Nigeria, the federal government says its recent intervention to equip better the nation's police has started yielding positive results now through the Police Intervention Trust Fund. Now, Minister of Police Affairs Mohammed Danyadi told reporters in the nation's capital, Abuja, that the federal government's efforts is a testimony of his commitment, in their own words, to reform the country's security sector.
intervention of Mr. President in the area of police equipment through the Police Trust Fund has started to yield the desired results. A few days ago, I was at the force headquarters for the pre-commissioning inspection of about 200 Buffalo branded vehicles, bulletproof vests, protective helmets, drugs and medical equipment procured by the Police Trust Fund. The Police Trust Fund has also procured arms and ammunition, riot control equipment, and the combat equipment for the police special weapon and tactical squad. Several other intervention projects being embarked upon by the Trust Fund under its 2021 budget will soon be unfolded. The problem of fuel of police operational vehicles will soon become history, as the ministry in its 2021 budget secured about 5 billion.
All right, so that was police speaking there, and in that one talking about the police trust fund. Oluchi,
right.
Many people will raise a bit of eyebrows. Yes, they've got arms, they've got ammunition, but the police trust fund is perhaps, is it just scratching the surface a bit in this fight against, insecurity in the country?
No, exactly, Olisa, and that's the next question I need to ask Dickson, because looking at the reform and the intervention fund that has been pumped into the police sector, has it really yielded results? Has it been, is it still as successful as being reported by the Minister of Police Affairs that we just listened to?
Oluchi, thank you for that question. You see, sometimes we think that monetary value, yes, monetary value plays a big role in the state of insecurity in Nigeria. Going by the police, what's it called, decision, or the fund, projecting more fund in the police is not the problem we have within the Nigerian police. There are two major problems that the Nigerian police are suffering from. One of the problems the Nigerian police are suffering from is command negligence. And the second problem they are suffering from is fire discipline. I can attest to that any day, anytime, anywhere. Command negligence in the sense that we are not holding most of these police leaders accountable. From the DPO to the area commander to the commissioner of police, the police guys out there just carry out activities the way they like, and that was what resulted to the last NSAS movement because of command negligence, in the sense that there is no proper discipline within the Nigerian police force. I'm a soldier, I understand, and I know the discipline in the military force. Like, for example, the second objective I want to talk about, which is the fire discipline. At any given time, the policeman will want to point his gun at you. At any given time, the policeman will cock the trigger, and at the end of the day, they will tell you that it's a misfired or they misfired. I must tell you the truth, there's nothing like misfiring, because it takes 3 procedures for the bullets to get out of the rifle. The first time you have to cock on the safety and press the trigger. You can't make 3 mistakes at the same time. That's why in the military, when you are misfired, you'll be dealt with or possibly dismissed. So the Nigerian police, first of all, needs to address the fire discipline of their men. They need to understand that they are really projected to serve the Nigerian public, not to intimidate the Nigerian public. They need to see themselves as a friend to the citizen, not all about intimidation. If we address command discipline within the police, and also if we address fire discipline within the police, ensure that every arms and ammunition are accounted for, every bullet shot in the air are accounted for. Sometime last week, I was going to the police barrack, a commander was driving by, and some of these boys were saluting him with a gunshot.
Wow.
That is erroneous, and it's not acceptable. So command discipline is very essential, and we need to, command negligence must be checked, then fire discipline must be checked. If we look at those 2 factors and then project the monetary and the hygienic factors to the policing system, the Nigerian police will stand up to the task.
Thank you so much, Dickson Osajie, for coming on Breakfast Central Security Experts. We love the analysis and everything. We hope to have you once again on the program.
It's a good one being here. Thank you for all you do, because I always say any day, anytime that your allegiance is to the people.
All right.